The 42 flies unwrapped here, but I'm a little sad. Our 456 is going to the Bahamas. I won't see it anymore. It's one of them gone. What's going on, everybody, and welcome. Behind me is our Contender. Today we're actually going to attempt to get all the dash panels fit and put in place. So let's just get started. Alright, before we get started, let's just take a quick look. So the panels we're doing were actually made by this company that made these back pieces. It's a company called Trimmed Out, a local company. Do good work, but they etched this in. These were just fiberglass lids before, but now they're not even attached yet. We're just checking fitment, which we're going to do with the dash. We're almost ready for that. We're going to get our wheel off. We're going to get all of our breakers and switches, all these covers off so we can lay all that back. And also pull our trim tab controller out and get our tape off here. We'll get all this up. We're probably going to have to saw a few spots here because the old one had gauges. You can see right here. There's fiberglass. So let me get all this ready and we'll come back and lay our pieces in here and see if everything fits. Alright, so we have our helm off. That's just the tilt part of it. The ring actually should fit around here. I haven't mocked this up yet. I just got all of this out of here. I don't know how well you can see in our hole. Look at all of our switches. I took all of our switches off. We're going to be redoing those too. And we got our tape off of here. So let's lay some panels down and see what they look like. Here's our top piece. Let's move that out of our way. Be careful. Should be able to just lay it down. Let's see, right around our circle. Looks like we're off a little bit here. And there we go. Obviously this will all be removed. It'll be all black. We want to test fit everything before we start doing anything. Looks like everything lines up nicely here. Get our top piece in here. This should just sit kind of on our edge here. Look at that. Looks like we don't have too much to cut out. A little bit here, and our piece right here. This is all going to be wide open, so what I'll probably do is make some starboard pieces or something to brace the backside on each one of these here. Since this is kind of just a hole, and this is going to kind of float here, so we'll be able to brace it from the backside, middle on each side. That way it'll all hold together real nicely. And same as this stuff here. This will all be pinned down, so this panel won't move anywhere. So we look at our hole here. Looks like our switches are also just a little off-centered here. Alright, yeah, so we'll just have to cut it. Not a big deal. We'll cut this out bigger so that our switches will fit in here. And we'll be able to light up the top because it might also be interfering on the top. Let's take a look on the other side. Yeah, so looking at this, they come through pretty well, but they're covered up a little bit on some of the where it says bilge and all that stuff there. That's where our light needs to shine through, so we're going to have to also cut a little bit off the top here to make that work nicely. There we go. We got a little bit bigger opening cut now. We got our piece cut here. First, before we even attempt to put that back on there, we actually are going to clean all this crap up. We'll get the sticker off here, get our silicone off everything here. Let me do that real quick before we go to the next round. Alright, getting all the crap off of this. Carb cleaner works pretty well to get all this heavy adhesive off and stuff. I gotta go get a magic eraser. It seems to work really well to just get all this flat, make it so nothing is going to push into that new panel. We want to make sure everything is clean and wiped down really well. We got nothing left here. I gotta jump down anyways. I forgot. Our Grady White right there. I finished the window right before I left Friday. Let's go take a look and make sure it's all cured up and looks good. So this is from 2 episodes ago, and actually I was just getting everything prepped and ready to set this window in. And we hurried up and did it all on Friday. Took a couple people to set it and get all this right. I painted all this, and then we etched it with primer and stuff. And on Friday we set this down and let it, well, actually it wasn't Friday, it was Thursday, pardon me. Friday is when I came in. At the end of the day I resealed all this stuff too. make it all pretty again. I'm not sure exactly what happened to it, but right at the bottom here, it started popping itself off of the track. I don't know if it just didn't adhere good, but and there's a lot of plexus 2-part epoxy underneath all of this, so it should not happen again. Yeah, it all turned out good. Well, enough of that. I'm gonna get this boat cleaned up so we can go home. Let's get back to our Contender. All right, we're gonna do one final quick wipe here. We're gonna mock it up one more time. The idea here is get this as smooth as possible. We want nothing to come through with our tape or poke into our new panel, because you'll be able to see it, being that the acrylic is like a partial see-through, which I'll show you in a second, because we're going to be able to backlight all of our switch stuff, and that's what we're going to check right now. So you look, this has got white backing tape. If it wasn't here, you'd be able to see through it. So because of that, we're obviously going to have to cut our holes out, but you'll be able to put a light behind here, and it should illuminate our switch labels here. So we're going to mock it up and give it a whirl first. Let's get this back down on our dash. We'll look behind it. We probably have to do a little bit more cutting. Our dash so far, this part is nice and clean. And we'll be able to stick some screws into our existing holes, and that will make this panel go exactly where it's going to stay, so we know exactly where we need to put this panel, because basically we're just lining it up from edge to edge here. So I'll just mock this up real quick. So we're using our drill battery here, stay in your home, to power our LED lights here. And if you look, basically this is what it's going to look like. This is kind of sitting on top of them, so it's a little bit brighter in some spots, but we'll lay that down on the inside, and all these will illuminate with that blue color. And we'll just hook it up to our nav anchor, so when you flip your nav lights on, you'll be able to see everything. So let's unplug that for now. That's basically the reason why I need to notch out everything there, because that is not going to sit like that. This is going to be sitting on this wall here. That way it will illuminate basically everything underneath there. The only thing you'll be able to see is where all that lettering is. So it should turn out pretty nice. Get rid of that. So I gotta finish cleaning up this, make sure all this stuff lines up and fits. It's all tedious stuff. There's one more thing I want to do real quick underneath here. I'm gonna drill us a hole, show you in a second. Also got to go in there and get a new tilt helm, as this one has fallen apart. There's a C-clip or something, or if we have a used one upstairs, I can take that C-clip off, because the U-joint and everything looks just fine. It's got a little corrosion, but see how it broke? It was just laying in there when I took it apart. That's no good, so we'll see if we can replace this or fix it up, make it nice again. Right here we have this cutting board that they made. Open this lid up. That's the sink. And here's, I don't know if this is supposed to be some kind of ice cooler or storage or whatever, but they made this cutting board to fit over it. Works good. Nice holder stuff on it. There's no drain here. It looks like everything kind of goes to this back corner right here. So we're going to add a drain. Nothing like drilling holes in muddy water. We'll keep the drill bit cooled off. There it is. Bye-bye water. And don't worry, we're going to put a drain and a drain tube in it. That way it doesn't just leak on top of everything inside here where our batteries are at. Looks like it fits good, but we'll clean all this out prior to sealing this bad boy in there and running a line. I'm going to show you guys one more thing before we probably call it a day here, because the rest of my day is just going to be spent cleaning and mocking and double checking and checking again. So when we come back, we'll have a lot of this hopefully installed with our switches and everything. We'll continue on. There's probably, I'm going to say, 50 to 80 hours of work that's going to be done to this thing when we're all said and done. At least. It might be closer to 100. So we come in here. This used to actually have a panel that went all the way around here. Just a kind of a white panel with one of those cheap covers that was in it. So what we've done is replace that with this guy that made this piece. So now this will cover up basically the whole thing, and it's on hinges. So we can just take a screw out on each side here and fold it down. When you fold it down, you'll have access to everything in here. Plus it's like this smoked color, so it'll kind of hide everything. I'm going to make all this as pretty as possible, so when we wrap everything up and all that, it'll look nice in here. I'm going to put a light in here, so when you hit this courtesy light, which activates our light right above us, we'll also turn a light on in here and kind of glow all this equipment down here. It might actually work pretty well with a nav light. Blue light I'm putting in there, I might add another one maybe down here on this track or wherever I find it, so it kind of illuminates this down here and makes it look cool. I'm also going to remove our wiring that is kind of just freestanding here. We're going to end up going this way with everything. We're also going to remove this because we don't need it anymore, which is the few power supplies that are gone now. So that'll be gone. We're going to add this so we can add the few components we need. Not like this where it has a fuse and it'll be labeled. This is much easier to deal with. So we'll have this, find a spot for it if we have to move a few things, or we'll find a good location where you can access this somewhere on the wall over here. And the only oddball thing that I see that's going to happen is our wiring. We'll make it nice and pretty coming down on each one of these, but it's going to have to sneak through here and this lid kind of through the top here, which there's plenty of gap here to do that. Maybe we'll go around or whatever, figure out how we're going to end up down and onto some other wiring so it all looks clean. But that's about the only thing that's kind of odd here with this new door. They did the same thing with the other white door that they had in here, or white panel you would call it. Anyway, let's get out of the hole here. I got lots of mess to clean up here, and lots more mocking up to do. I'm gonna finish trimming my edge here so the lights work. Alright, I obviously got lots more to do here. We'll come back to the Contender on our next video. I'm gonna finish what I can before quitting time. We have one more thing to go look at. Scott just bugged me. It's got to overheat on a 425, and it might be like one of the scenarios we saw before. He already did all the water pumps, all that stuff, so let's go take a look. I'm gonna walk around to our floating dock over here. Hey, we got us a sea hunt floating over here. I can see right here. There's the motor that's overheating. So let's jump on here. Pull it over. I don't feel like swimming today. This is a 375 Grady White. It's a cool boat, super wide. Somebody installed a giant TV there. They got the tools. We just need 10mm. Doesn't matter which side you check first, but right here, that's our thermostat. On each side, there's just a 10 on top and bottom. Very possible it's the other side. Typically how it works is you go to the wrong one first. Alright, so looking at that one, it's not opened. So nope, let's go to the other side. Don't drop it in the water. That looks like a special bolt. What do we got? Oh, is she open?
Yeah.
She's open. Yank her out of there, let's take a look-see. Yeah, that's stuck open. Well, there's your problem. Alright, my job is done. Say bye, Scott.
Later.
I'm gonna go back to the Contender here and jump off. Finish what I was doing. Gotta clean it all up, do all that crap. So, that being said, I always appreciate you watching. I will see you next time. Later. The semi coming to pick up the 456. I don't know much about these things, but this thing's awesome.